that shit.
I love to see it.
But me personally, I don't have an issue with none of the looting, none of the riots. The only thing I say is stay away from black-owned businesses.
Trust.
Shit like our supermarkets, because we already got a little bit of supermarkets as is.
A limited amount.
They're not gonna fix our shit first. Like
I'm just a young nigga, I'm a ball like I'm Kobe. And off this Henny I might OD. If a nigga running up, he better show me. Have a nigga leaking slow.
Breonna Taylor,
My Aubrey.
George Floyd,
Rashad Brooks. And these are just to name a few of the lives lost to the police brutality and senseless murder of African Americans. We just want to take a moment and honor those and all of those that we have lost. Thank you. This is ScreamATMePodcast. I'm Kev.
I'm Kai.
It's Day.
Yo, ear to the street. What's going on in your neighborhood? You know, we here to talk about a little bit of everything. You know, of course, we got to acknowledge what is going on currently right now, not only in our neighborhood, but all across the world.
Yeah.
You know, so let's get into it. You know, what you want to talk about?
I think it's only right to kind of start with what everybody's been seeing the most of, and that's the whole George Floyd situation. Just talking about, I guess, not more so what happened, because at this point we kind of know what happened, but why it happened and what we can really do to change stuff like that going forward. Like outside of the protests and stuff like that, what can people above us, regular people, can do as far as like defunding the police and stuff like that. So I just want your thoughts on the defunding the police thing in general. Like, where do y'all stand with that? What do y'all think is the right way to go, and what is the proper execution for it?
I mean, me personally, when we talk about defunding the police, I think a lot of people first go extremely radical to think that you're going to defund the police, that they are no longer in existence.
Yeah, that's
and
not
that
what
is
we
not
mean. A lot
what
of
we
people really
mean
think that's
at
what
all.
it's not.
But, you know, when you look at certain cities and certain townships' budgets for police departments, and like Philadelphia, I think we just read a story earlier that said that there was almost like a, $2-point-something billion budget for the five. Okay, that was the number. $5.6 billion budget for the fiscal year of just 2021 for the Philadelphia Police Department.
It's outrageous.
That makes no sense. I mean, me personally, not to say that they don't need the money or need funding, but when we live in this area and they have closed 13 to 15 schools in the last 3 to 5 years, Parks and Recreations is going down the tube. There is no POW and there is no other places for these kids to go, but our police department is being given billions. How can we let something like that go on? You know, I'm not for that. You know, I believe that there needs to be a communicative, collaboratory effort to reform and restructure, you know, the police budget, where there needs to be actual voices from the community that get to see that budget proposal first, not just when it come out, but from the proposal step in the beginning, you know, to really see how this money gets allocated and distributed. Don't get me wrong, of course, we know that their insurances and vehicles and equipment and a lot of this stuff costs money, and millions they will get, but billions they don't need.
I feel like the biggest issue is they feel like the solution to everything is policing, more policing. Like, they took away money from the schools. What's the problem with kids not going to school now? Answer by policing. What's the problem with people doing drug overdoses and stuff like that? They didn't get more money to healthcare clinics and stuff like that to help the people. They arrest them. Homeless people, the same thing. Like, some of this money could go to some of those homeless facilities and things that'll help people that are homeless get in a better situation. We're talking about almost $6 billion, not millions, billions would it be. Like, let that sink in for 1 year. That can make a difference for each of those systems over the course of years, close to a decade, if you split even half of that money up into all 3 of those facilities. So it's like, with them doing that, it's causing more issues. It's causing more reasons for police to do a lot of the bullshit, because they're giving them this money and they're taking away resources that's causing more issues within the community. Where are kids want to go when they don't have a POW to go to? They don't have a playground to play in. The playground around my way doesn't even have swings. Like, what do you do when you can't go outside? You're going to turn into some stuff, and then shit might happen.
We're going to throw rocks.
Yeah.
That's what we used to do.
We're going to do shit
rocks,
that's like
break windows, knock, zoom, dumbass shit.
Stuff that's going to get you fucked up. Like you said, knock, zoom. Somebody will legit get shot playing it now.
Right, especially right now.
Yeah, exactly, right now. But these are issues. Kids have nowhere to go. A lot of these kids have parents that are working 12-hour shifts, maybe even more. They're not home with them. They can't help parent them all the time because they have to make sure they're putting food on the table. So these centers growing up for us were helpful because you could go there. My mom's working 14 hours a day. I can go to the pod till about 6, 7 o'clock. And then maybe my mom's getting off by then. Or maybe at least someone by then can be there for me. But you can't expect everyone to be in the same predicament as the people up top. And I feel like that's one of the biggest reasons for a lot of this going on right now. They're not down here with us, so they don't care to think the way we think.
I truly believe that the way that we can, counter this isn't only just, the budget and the reform, but it got to go all the way back to the preliminary basics.
Yeah.
From the police training, their community work that needs to be poured into more, and at the same time, like I said, things like parks and recreations and museums and other stuff that are in the communities and the arts programs and all the other outreach. And I'm a musician, the music programs that used to be around and the schools had, and theatrics and all the other things, workshop and home economics and all those other programs that were in school and in other places for kids to be able to tap in and have other outlets. They're gone. I am, constantly always at the forefront of my mind speaking for the 5 children that are behind me. Exactly. So those are always going to be my concerns, and it's not in the sense that we don't need the police. It's not in the sense that, fuck all police, because that's not where we stand. We understand what their job is. We understand that it is a dangerous job. We understand that they are given power, but we also understand that they abuse that power.
Yeah.
So like if we're going to acknowledge it all, truly acknowledge it all. There is ways around this, and we can try and stir it, to get back to the preliminary basics of building one another up, building the community up.
Yeah.
We prided ourselves to be this American land and home of the brave and, pride, whatever. But in all actuality, what's going on is the exact opposite. What they're not telling you is what's going on. Yeah. That's just it. And it's kind of crazy, and we're not just looking at it from the Philadelphia standpoint. I truly praise and bless social media outlets and cell phones and recordings because now it's in your face.
But that's the point. Like
can't nobody hide it.
It's an important job, but this is a job that you can't fuck up in. This is a job where you cannot do wrong. It's like pilots. Pilots can't have a bad day, because if you have a bad day, you crash the fucking plane. You just can't. Surgeons cannot have a bad day, because if they cut the wrong shit, someone's dead, or someone has a limb lost, or they're paralyzed and it's a lawsuit. It's the same thing with cops. Lives are on the line every day that you step out on the field. So you need to get your shit together, clear your head, and understand you cannot fuck up. There is no I had a bad day. There is no there's problems at home. Because when you take up that job, you take up the responsibility knowing that that's not a thing. For you, that's not a thing. You have to be perfect in that job. And a lot of people say we can't be perfect. There's a way to reach perfection in certain ways. And being a police officer, not jumping to conclusions, not shooting people out of fear, all those things are the way to be perfect in policing. And I think the biggest problem with some of that is a lot of these police are afraid of the people that they encounter because they're not there. They're not from these neighborhoods. Police that I see mostly aren't from the neighborhood that I'm from, or the neighborhood that we're from.
Absolutely.
And that's one thing that I wish and I hope really does change later in life. Get them into being in the neighborhood so that they don't fear. Get more police officers that were from that neighborhood. And I get it. A lot of people don't want to be in the police system that are from my neighborhood or from our neighborhood because at the end of the day, you're labeled as a snitch or you looked at differently. And right now, who would want to be a cop? With everything that's going on, such the bad rep that they're getting for a lot of shit that a very few bad eggs are doing, it makes you not want to be a cop. Because then you think, what if I fuck up? This will be me on the TV next.
You know what's crazy? When you said that, a lot of the police officers not from here and they don't understand this.
Yeah.
It was like last Halloween, I was at a Halloween party with my friend, and he went down the one way on some dumb shit. Mm-hmm. So he ended up getting pulled over, and I'm trying to get him out the ticket. Yeah. So I majored in criminal justice in college, so I'm trying to talk to the officer I'm a criminal justice major. You got any tips for me? This, that, and the third. Yeah. He don't be a police around here. So I'm like, wow. He said, ain't nothing good around here.
Mm-hmm. And that's the mentality.
I ain't say nothing, but in my mind, we in the middle of North Philly, 24th and Berks or some shit like that. Right. I'm from around here. What you mean ain't nothing good from around here? I guarantee my GPA higher than yours.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I know plenty of young boys that's good and do great things. They just, the environment and shit like that. So you don't know, he can't know people from around here. It's impossible for him to say that nothing good come from around here.
I personally think that as a part of their training, or when officers come out of training, there needs to be at least a 2 to 3 month community outreach period. In the sense of not that they have to go out and helping hands, but you walk in that beat. You learn in this neighborhood. You know, you can get a community liaison officer or somebody from the neighborhood that's a neighborhood watch or whatever, on foot. Really walking that beat, learning that neighborhood, learning that drunk at the corner, Mr. Johnson, lost his way 10 years ago after he went through a hardship or whatever the case is. Knowing that man that sells cigarettes on the corner isn't actually a viable threat to anyone. He's just selling cigarettes. You know what I'm saying? But if you don't know your neighborhood and you don't know that area that you policing in, you come in, you looking at everybody as a suspect or a target. And that's not the way these situations are supposed to be approached. The way that things are being handled and the conduct of officers needs to be fully put under the microscope, and it goes back to fully training. Training equates to money. So again, no fully defunding the police, but there needs to be a complete restructure of what budget really is, and also implement of classes. I think the implementation of that community walk around is a great idea for all new officers and those that think they the veterans of the block that have been there, you know, that drive around in the cars the longest or whatever the case is. You need to get out there and really learn your neighborhood. You know, like you really need to know. One of the things while we talking about it, fellas, you know, you brought up straight off the rip, you know, police reform and defunding the police. This is something that we finding out here in the last, 2 weeks more and more through social media with the protests and the riots that are going on. So while we haven't really had a chance to speak on that, like how do y'all feel about the protests and the riots that have been happening that have caused these conversations of defunding the police, prison reform, the reform of, the judicial system.
Shout out to everybody that's been out there protesting, and even the people that have been out there rioting, because a lot of people look at it as like mindless destruction, and it's not. It's showing that at this point in the generation, people are actually giving the police system repercussions for what they're doing, because it's not being had in the justice system. These cops aren't getting long sentences. They're not getting life in prison. Some of these cops don't even lose their jobs. They just get time off, paid time off at that. So it's like, what do you do there? You show us that, exactly, it's the best thing possible. Like, you're sitting in the house making money after you just shot a kid who had a future. A kid who now their mom has to bury them. Your mom should never have to bury you. Like, that's just not life, that's not living. And my thing is, now people are seeing it. Now they have to make it a focus to make a change, because they don't want us destroying everything. But at the end of the day, what are you going to do? Shoot and kill everyone that's rioting? It's not going to solve the problem. So with these people doing things such as breaking down their city, it's showing them repercussions. We have to take this serious. We have to take into account that if this keeps going on, the city will get worse. All of these cities will become cities that no one wants to come to, which is less money coming in for the people up top who weren't doing anything before. So now they're making that decision and start looking at it a little more, actually investigating a little more, actually taking a thought of giving these cops a little repercussion, even though they deserve a lot more, a little bit. Give them a little bit of time in prison. Make sure they lose their badge.
Me personally,
I hear it.
Me personally, I'm all for the riots and the protests. I don't want us burning down our community. Now,
it ain't
that does mean
footage did come out saying that
to an extent, I get what you mean saying that it ain't ours to begin with, but at the same time, y'all know what it took to get what we have in those lower, money-driven communities or whatever. So to an extent, I don't want to burn down everything in there. Now, that turns the subject to say, what am I okay with them burning down?
Everything that's not black.
But that shit, you know what I'm saying? That list
burn
is
down
long.
That
list is
burn down
very, very
McDonald's.
long. Like,
burn down all that shit. I don't give a fuck.
And it's not in the sense that I'm okay with, just burning the city down. But, let's be perfectly honest. These protests, riots, peaceful protests, peaceful marches have been going on for decades. I'm sorry to say it, but the response was never heard until shit got lit on fire. So, once we stop y'all money flow, which is the true greed and gain of the good American land.
The reason
You
why
know,
they're here.
the almighty dollar.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Once that gets stopped or, veered off from, their revenue road or whatever the case is,
Yeah.
I mean, then it becomes spotlights on, and now you got companies that are trying to be, we're with the movement, but in all actuality, policies don't show that.
Yeah.
I'm ready for the entire reform. Not only are we protesting and getting these companies to say that they for the movement, but I don't want that Taco Bell manager to be fired because he wore a Black Lives Matter mask to work.
Seen that.
It shouldn't matter.
Starbucks
You know what I mean?
too.
Starbucks
Why y'all
employees
even
can't
still
wear a
wear
certain
it?
attire.
Yeah.
If you say you for the cause on a national level, i.e. just the same okay and keep your revenue coming in.
Yeah.
But what you're actually doing to your employees on a day-to-day basis is the exact opposite. That's wrong. You had no problem to say to those employees that wore the Confederate flag for decades.
Yeah.
They wore that shit proudly to work with no issues. And it ain't just the Confederate flag. There's a bunch of other emblems and signals that are out there to signify injustice or wrong or racist, whatever. A Black Lives Matter on a t-shirt or on a mask, that ain't even something that's truly a real protest. That is a stand with a movement, but it ain't even a protest. It's for oppression. It ain't even racist. It's oppression. There is a complete difference. Like, there is a complete spin on it. And, I just want things to be clear and get to the real core or get to the real change.
And before we
that's my main joint. Right?
Well, into another thing, I do want to touch on the thing that you said about the community. I feel like as a group, that's something that people need to understand before going out to actually do stuff like riots. Like, you don't touch your community. You don't touch your local stores. You don't touch the black-owned businesses within your community because then you're just destroying everything, and that is just mindless destruction. The thing is to keep us around, keep us growing. If you destroy everything in Center City, our community is fine. Our community isn't Center City. Our community is airtight. We can make our own money. We're circulating our money within our business, and that's helping growing the black community. Because at the end of the day, while we're tearing them down for the things that they're doing wrong, we need to be helping each other build ourselves up. Yeah, exactly. And become more financially stable.
Center City was fixed that weekend. Like,
Exactly.
I think we looted Friday or Saturday. That shit was fixed that weekend.
Yeah, I worked
Shit
in Center
still
City.
boarded up in North Philly. Shit still boarded up in West Philly.
For decades.
Don't get me wrong,
But-
while the two markets that's in North Philly or West Philly, shout out to the owner of the Brown Supermarkets because not only the ShopRights, he kept his employees paid when they weren't working and did everything under his power to get that shit back open for the fucking community.
Yeah.
But again, that's our shit.
Yeah, exactly.
That's our community. Those are the motherfuckers that been there.
Yeah.
Those black businesses or supportive black community businesses that have been there for decades, those not the ones that's been fucking y'all over.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry to say this shit. Shout out to the owner, Kate Spade, that vocally voiced his opinion that, my windows and my bags can be replaced. But the black lives that have been lost due to this and what is the real cause behind this can never be replaced.
Yeah.
So he understood, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that just to say that it's okay, but understand that there is truly a geared method. Now, while we also on the topic of speaking of the protests, y'all know, just like I know, this shit wasn't just done by us.
Of course.
These fires and some of this vandalism that was going on happened from people from outside of our community in our community.
And that's the dangerous part, because now we're being blamed for everything. A
And
lot of these
losing
fires,
the real
and
momentum and
actual looting
voice.
is being looked at. Yeah, exactly. They're looking at us because we are the majority, or because it's our issue. At the end of the day, it's our pressing matter. They look at us as everything wrong. Everything going wrong is us. If the fucking sky starts falling right now, it's because black people is right. Like, trust me, that's the way it's being spun right now, and that is truly not fair, because while it is our fight, a lot of other people either joining in our fight or just destroying shit.
I went out there and protested, and to be honest, it's way more white people out there than black people.
Yeah,
so when that rioting and that looting shit started, most likely the white people started that shit. We damn sure followed up and we capitalized
off
it.
That's what we gonna do. We gonna follow up and
capitalize,
but we didn't initiate.
Oh, it's destruction going on. They fucking up the city.
They fucking up the city.
We down there.
We down there. You mean we gonna get what we can get our hands on. That's just what it is. Like,
but
I mean,
for the to answer the original question about how you feel about the looting and the protests, the rioting and all that shit. when you driving and you trying to go to South Philly from North Philly, that shit is a little like frustrating. Like they draw all this protest shit. But fuck that shit. That's what we need.
It's worth the drive.
That shit.
I would take the longer route.
Yeah.
I understand.
Them being frustrated, them being an inconvenience of their life, they white privilege being just disturbed for an extra 15 minutes because you gotta go around.
Real
Keep
shit.
doing that shit.
I love to see it.
But me personally, I don't have an issue with none of the looting, none of the riots. The only thing I say is stay away from black-owned businesses.
Trust.
Shit like our supermarkets, because like
It's
we already got a little bit of supermarkets as is.
A limited amount, yo.
The
Everything
store,
else,
you know what I'm saying?
they're not gonna
like,
fix our shit first. Like,
real shit.
just like he said, Center City got fixed in a matter of days. Our shit's not getting fixed.
And the only thing I
we
want
have to
you
worry
to
about
keep in
fixing our
mind
own stuff.
too, us young people can go, we can travel.
Right.
Yeah.
Think about those in your community that
Your
can't.
grandma.
Everybody
Think about
Single
your grandma,
mom.
your
Single mom of
grandpa,
three who
or
can't
the
leave
single
the
mom that don't have a car, that
Yeah.
only walks to the market, only walks to that Rite Aid,
Yeah.
that's in that local neighborhood. Y'all tore that shit down and made it harder for her to get medicine and things. Like, think about that shit. Now, anywhere else is
Foot Locker, tear that shit the fuck up. Sneakerville, tear that shit the fuck up.
Size
The
12.
Fucking halal
13,
skin, crayon fried, tear all that dumb shit the
but
fuck
yeah,
up. Like,
like,
leave the black owned shit on. And the Puerto Ricans too.
Yeah, because at the end of
I
the
would
day,
say Puerto Ricans are black.
we
Anything else,
fully
that shit free
support
game.
everything that's going on. And I actually love it because it's like you see like the Malcolm X and the Martin Luther King like calm versus loud approach, and it's like hitting them at the same time is what I feel like is what's put so much
That's
pressure on
the key.
because you see people
'Cause that's the
attacking
key.
and breaking stuff down, and then you also see people calmly showing like, listen, we don't have to be this way, but y'all are making us this way. At the end of the day, we've been quiet for so long, or slowly protesting, taking more so that Gandhi, Martin Luther King approach, non-violence, and y'all not letting us get our way with that, so now we have to take it. And we're taking it by destroying stuff, but we're also showing you we can be very civilized, we can still protest calmly, and we'll still get our message across that way.
Watching that George Floyd video, like
Yeah.
a lot of shit, like I just be insensitive to it. Like that shit, that George Floyd shit really made me mad. Like I put my phone
Yeah,
down.
that
That
shit
shit
was
made
fire
me
to me.
mad in the crib.
Yeah.
Like it's been plenty of times where I had encounters with police, and I felt like as a grown ass man, you shouldn't be talking to me or treat me like that. And I want to react, but I can't. Like, what I'm gonna do? Punch you in your face? I'm gonna fucking get killed.
Yeah, but die.
So when
But
they
if I
start
ask
rioting
you,
and looting, and I get an opportunity to express my anger, I'm gonna do that shit.
Yeah.
I wasn't down there looting, but I can't blame them for doing that shit.
doing that
Yeah.
shit.
I get a chance to tear shit up and express my anger.
Yeah, so that's the thing that I want to touch on.
It's
like-
only 23 years of my life.
Real
400
quick,
years of that
before you
shit.
change the joint,
Yeah, go ahead.
I love the analogy that you just made of seeing the Martins and the Malcolms come together and hit them at once. Now, personally, I feel as though that was America's threat.
Yeah.
Once Malcolm really opened his eyes from the Nation of Islam and started to reach out and branch out to Martin and Gandhi and other sources of political power and platforms to get the unified vocal message out there.
Yeah.
But please believe, ain't nobody scared. we will stand firm for ours, but there is a better approach.
Yeah.
Now,
Very much
if
so.
you not gonna listen, we gonna go this other route. But to see that that's truly what it is, you know, that dream and that ideology that both of them had, it is coming across through our generation. Whether we will fully verbalize it and connect to it, that is what that becomes. And you know, it's powerful. What we are witnessing, no matter what, is history. You know what I'm saying? And this also judges what history has been told to be here in America. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got the bigger picture of I'm trying to see the fucking history textbooks completely be rewritten. Not in the sense of, you know, just of current topics, but you need to truly show what it is and where those different avenues, marches, people, where they came from, who and how they are, how they grew to be, and also the real roles that they played in the overall development of the United States as we know it to be. But you know what I mean? Like, I just love that ideology and didn't want to like let that go under the radar or whatever.
Moments like this is where true leaders are made. People will start to emerge. More people start to step into that role and speak out. And we will see people that are current day, young people, old people, making a name for themselves because they will not be afraid to do the things that a lot of people are afraid to do. Not afraid to do the unthinkable. There's people out here that really, truly are not afraid to put their lives on the line. And those are the people, while it will be very sad if lives start to be lost, they understand from the beginning it's for a better cause. They understand it is casualties of war, as some people may say. But what I wanted to get into was what you was talking about when you were speaking about the police and seeing the George Floyd thing. See, now, I didn't see, because there was no footage of the Breonna Taylor situation, but when I actually listened to what happened, it broke my heart. Because it's like, imagine you're laying in bed with your spouse. Police break your door down. They don't knock on your door. They don't say that they're entering. They break your door down in the middle of the night while you're asleep. With no clothes, no uniforms on, street clothes. The same shit that we're wearing. Because they have a no-knock warrant to come in your house because they think you have drugs on you. And because of that, you get killed. Because you have your gun license. You hear intruders. You're naturally going to use the gun that you're licensed to have in your home. You shoot a shot, and then your spouse gets shot over 10 fucking times. Imagine how that sounds.
Let me just tell you, you saying imagine how it sounds. That shit is not something you can imagine. The only time I've ever seen anything along this line being displayed is on fucking the internet, and it's under hood site, and it's when cartels come in your fucking crib and they kill you.
And that's what I feel
all
like.
that
These
shit
are the new cartels.
They are plain clothes cartel, and they have the backing of the fucking judicial system. And just because they have a no-knock warrant, which they probably really didn't even fucking have, because the motherfuckers went to the fucking wrong apartment. So if you have a no-knock warrant to an address that's not the right address of the suspect you're looking for, is it really a valid warrant? I don't fucking think so. But they walked in that crib and they killed a young girl. And that shit is going, don't get me wrong, it's not going unnoticed. Never gonna say that, because the people are outraged by it, and voices continually, daily are coming out to speak out about it. But something needs to be done about those officers that wrongfully kicked in her fucking door.
Because it's not on video.
That's all it is.
And you know what's crazy?
But
they
that's
really
all
tried
the
to
fucking
arrest
is.
her boyfriend.
They tried to arrest her boyfriend.
Well, they did arrest him.
You know
They tried to
what I'm
really give him time for that shit.
For him shooting.
For him shooting a licensed gun when you breaking in my
You
crib.
broke into my crib.
This shit couldn't be written in a
broke
movie.
into my
It
crib.
makes no sense. But this
It's
is the
just-
life we live in. And some people still don't understand why we're so outraged. Imagine hearing this stuff, seeing it on the news. It's having the platform, the biggest platform possible, social media, TV, all over the internet, blogs. People are making videos about it, and there's still no justice done. And then you tell me why you wouldn't be afraid to come across a cop. Why you wouldn't be afraid that the next time you get pulled over, you won't be another person on the news who got shot for doing nothing. There's reasons why.
One of the things that I like that I saw over the last couple of days on the coverage of all of this. Shout out to Trevor Noah, one of the real reporters that will verbalize and isn't afraid to say what the fuck it is.
my guy. He speaks
But
a
let's
lot.
keep it a buck. The common denominator in all of these situations: cops and African Americans.
That's a big fact.
No, but what if you didn't do anything? What if this girl, had the warrant but she didn't, or had the drugs but she didn't? Only thing that y'all addressed the situation for with that much force was because she was black. And no different with her. While it's two different spectrums of killings, there was no reason for her to die. There was no need for Rashad Brooks to die.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But when your cops are in confrontation with African Americans, it's this draw first mentality.
Yeah.
It's the gun first mentality, and I think that overall goes back to, again, the training of these fucking officers. I'm sorry, I'm gonna say this shit. A lot of y'all cops are bitch made.
That's
Y'all
a big
pussy.
fact.
Y'all scared as shit. I'm sorry to say it, but it's just facts. You really are truly intimidated and scared.
And they aren't properly trained. Like,
No,
I've
the fuck
seen
they're not.
videos of cops getting
No, the
locked the fuck out. Regular niggas.
Truly,
Like,
a black African American teenager growing up in the hood day in, day out gets more training of how to handle themselves in a heated situation than a cop would.
They talk all that black on black crime shit. I still have yet to have a gun pointed at me
Yo.
by somebody on my own color.
Just anybody and everybody that honestly says that, though, let me just, because you brought it up, that black on black killing shit, fuck y'all, first of all, because one thing ain't got nothing to do with another thing.
That's
and
a big
also
fact.
for me to fucking answer the joint, if you come at me, motherfucker, I'm coming at you.
Exactly.
There ain't no in between. Just to say the shit, white people go kill the whole fucking school. They only had a problem with one motherfucker. Only one girl broke their heart. But everybody in the fucking school gotta die. That's that bullshit. Now, if me have a problem with you, don't think I'm going to your mom or your brother. I'm going to break your fucking jaw.
Yeah,
if it needs to escalate to a physical gunfight, then I'm coming for you, not the people around you and shit. So the black on black crime, if that's who's in that same demographic area, whether it's black on black or white on white or Mexican on Mexican, Chinese on Chinese, they're going to kill one another. It's just statistics. That's just what it is. So don't counter that and don't try and lose sight of what the real movement is of Black Lives Matter. It doesn't, there aren't subcategories to the shit. Black lives matter in this world. Black lives fucking matter in this world. Like, you have to understand that we are a part of the embroidery of this nation. Our style, our swag, our grace, our food, our music, our lineage is a part of this nation.
All the shit they want from us. They really, like, for the most part, like,
but then you try and discard
what
it.
we have.
You want it, but then you try to discard the source. You can't. You did that shit in the 1400s, and when you guys originally, not 1400s, but when you originally started to, you know, ship and, you know, started the slave trade. You took what you wanted and left what you didn't. You can't do that shit now. We are here. That is me.
And we will be heard.
And we will be heard. I will voice my opinion. I will call you the fuck out. I'm not going to allow you just to say what you want to say or feel how you want to feel. You know what I mean? And I get the freedom of speech, but just know freedom of speech comes with consequences. You can say what you want. You better duck.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the follow-up.
At this point, I feel like we all need to be armed. Like,
you
see this shit going on in fucking Fishtown in South Philly? Motherfuckers outside protecting the Christopher. They protecting the Christopher Columbus statue with a fucking assault rifle.
Christopher Columbus. And what the fuck did he do? What did he do? He stole and made a name for himself. And we praised him for centuries. Technically, if you still want to be honest, we're still technically praising him today because it's still in the fucking.
He got a holiday.
It's still a goddamn national holiday. It's still
he got a holiday.
But it's a problem with tomorrow's. Shout out to Juneteenth. You know what I'm saying? It's tomorrow, dog.
So quickly,
and everybody needs to turn the fuck up. And it needs to go from it needs to go to a national holiday. It needs to be recognized by everybody. We got to celebrate so much bullshit and get holidays in this country. Juneteenth needs to really be recognized as our real freedom and allow everything to move forward for the movement. Like, but it's just crazy, yo. You talking about people armed. I'm sorry, I done seen 4 to 6 stories in the last 3 days of supposed people being hung.
And that's outrageous.
And because everything is suicidal.
Bro, my biggest thing is how the fuck did they get up there? I don't see no stoops.
Real shit.
I'm a crawl
scale
fucking tree.
Real shit.
Hey, what the fuck?
Tie the knot to the bottom, tie the shit around my neck, and
I don't
jump
care
off.
if it's evidence
the fuck out of here,
They did not kill themselves.
They did not.
Right now.
They did not.
I don't care if the news comes out and says, "Oh, they killed themselves." They did not kill themselves. You're not about to tell me that they came to the fucking tree. Who the hell goes to a tree to kill himself? First of all, like seriously,
in front of a
courthouse,
school.
why would I not do it in my own house?
Ass places, yeah, dog.
And that's the thing, like, and that's like, it goes back to what you said about Black Lives Matter, because at the end of the day, I've seen videos of Jennifer, Sally, fucking Frederick cuss cops out, swing on cops, threaten to kill a cop.
They never
and
reach
because they're not blatant. I've seen cops literally reach their hand out, calm down, sir. He has a bat in his hand, a knife in his hand. You're not shooting him. I see unarmed black men get killed for less than. But because he's your own kind, you understand where he's coming from. You see his skin color and you believe y'all are the same. Even if he came from my neighborhood, because you see his skin color, you guys are the same, you're going to approach him a lot different. Your gun is still holstered, and you're out there literally trying to understand what his issue is and how to calm him down. But we don't get none of them. We don't get a chance to even explain ourselves. We speak, sometimes we get shot. We flinch a little bit, you get trigger happy, you start bitching and you shoot us. For what reason?
People that die that have called the cops for other situations. I'm calling y'all to help me, but y'all approach me as suspect. How is that possible? How is that okay?
I got a question. Like, I might just not be thinking, but how is it possible for me to climb the tree and hang myself? Like, I don't know, like, how the fuck would I do that?
Dog, I ain't gonna hold you. Not
how the
even
fuck
in
I'm
the
gonna tie it up, tie it to the tree, jump.
How you guarantee that the branch is gonna fucking make it?
All right.
How do you know that when you jump off the tree, that shit gonna kill you?
I would just shoot
most of
myself
these
before I do
motherfuckers
shit like
got
that.
it. They would strangle themselves. It takes. You gotta be scientifically accurate or know exactly how to jump down, how much space you need, how much your body weight, the whole nine is to really put something like that into consideration. Like
last time I checked, a lot of things from what I've seen, people kill themselves. They're not making it known to the world by doing it in front of a fucking courthouse.
It's not.
You kill yourself in your. Why would I literally go to a public area to kill myself? I'm not recording it, but I'm doing it in public.
The one in LA, he called his parents and family and told them that he got pulled over by the cops. And 4 to 6 hours later, he wound up in a tree.
Yeah, exactly.
But the cops say it was suicide.
So after I got let go by the cop, I felt so bad that I'm going to go kill myself now. Like, really, why would that make any sense? Why would I contact my family, letting them know that I got pulled over if I wanted to die? Why wouldn't I literally just reach at the cop and have him shoot me? That's quicker than suicide. He's putting lead right in my fucking brain.
Think about this.
But instead, I'm going to suffer. I'm going to sit there and lose my breath second by second, hanging myself in a tree. Literally having to live with that pain in the moment. If I really want to die that bad.
These are the cases we know about. These are the cases that are known. You know what I'm saying? Like,
this shit really gets my blood boiling because it's
that's why I
sad.
text y'all what I text y'all. And I ain't gonna say it loud because I don't know, but I'm damn sure ready for that shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm damn sure ready for it. Like,
I wish I was rich.
Because it's just crazy. Like, it's just crazy. And there's no real variable to say you'll be better off.
Yeah.
You almost doomed as a black person 9 times out of 10 once the cops get called. Real shit. Or just not even fucking call the cops. Whether we involved in the shit or not. Because once the cops get called in, like, it's just crazy. Did y'all see that video of that little boy playing basketball outside his crib?
Yeah, when he hit behind the
cop
car.
drove past.
Yes, and he hit behind his mom's car.
And he ducked behind the truck.
That's sad.
Like, that's crazy, but that's America. That's what we live in. The Black Lives Matter is for the voiceless. It's for those that don't get these damn videos, that don't get the goddamn media attention, that don't have somebody standing idly by when that cop pulled them over to pull out that camera phone and start shooting, you know? And don't get me wrong, not taking light off of any one case or situation, but this is why the movement is as powerful and as needed as it is. It truly feels like open season on African Americans.
And it is. Like,
you know what I'm saying?
You know how they say you only promise 2 things when you come in this world? That you come in and you're going to live and you're going to go out. And the third thing is, if you're black, the chance of you making it is a lot more slim. Because not only do we have cops coming at us, but we have a lot of other things from different angles attacking us every day. So cops are just adding on to the fuel. They're just adding more bodies and more situations to what we have. Because now we can't rely on the police. So if someone is actually robbing my home, I don't even feel safe calling you because you're going to shoot me thinking I'm the robber. Or even if you don't think I'm the robber, oh, maybe I don't even own a home. There's multiple reasons why any scenario that thinks of me calling the police could end in me in a body bag. Not even by the intruder, not even by the guy that might kill me, not even by the person that's thinking of doing this or that to me, because the police officer that's coming to my house might be afraid. They might not be trained enough to actually, you know, try to seek out
the situation.
De-escalate the situation, to seek out who the real predator is and who the person who really called for help is. At the end of the day, I'm calling for help. And that's the issue that I have with the killing of
Rashad Brooks.
Yeah, Rashad Brooks and Breonna Taylor. Just to touch on that a little bit more, she was in school to be a nurse, to help people. And at the end of the day, that goes to this job. Your job is to help people.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen body cam footages of cops telling people, I'm not here to be tactical.
Yep.
I'm here to speak and you're going to obey.
You're gonna obey.
How is that helping? You're called here to help. Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. It's like
they draw weapons with no weapons on them. Yeah, that's what it is. I got a question for you, because while you was mentioning and you talking about the calls and stuff to the police, how do y'all feel about people that's wrongfully calling the cops? Or even not even wrongfully, to an extent, you know, a Wendy's employee
that's part of the problem.
Could have came the fuck outside and knocked on Rashad Brooks' joint and tell him to move out the drive-thru because he's disturbing their line. In all actuality, even though he was impeding their line, he wasn't disturbing their line because niggas gonna go around.
That shit hit home because I've been with Rashad Brooks so many nights.
Dog.
I got in 2 accidents because I was drinking and driving. So before, them Ubers be like $40. Listen, Friday, Saturday night.
Trust.
So I done went to sleep, lock the doors, go to sleep in the wheel. Like, I've been Rashard Brooks plenty of nights. I was him Saturday.
Ray for a second. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Because you said Ray and you said Rashard Brooks.
No.
But yeah, it does hit home, and it's because you can really fix these situations yourself. Like, I work in the security field. I work overnight, and I work in Center City. I see homeless people all of the time. They're in areas that they're not supposed to be in. And I'll go out there without a weapon, without a gun, without a baton, and tell them, you can't sleep here.
Yep.
Yeah, you have to move. You can't be on this private property.
Like,
I don't go out there assuming that they're about to kill me. I go out there with the respect of letting them know, you just can't disturb this area. And that's it. I'm not calling the police to come try to de-escalate the situation, because I understand they're not going to de-escalate it. They might drag you off. They might shoot you. They might lock you up. They might not even say get off the bench. They might say, we got to call you disturbing the peace. Now we're about to handle you. And anything can happen at that point. And I don't want that for not only my people, but for anybody. But at this moment, it happens to my people more than anyone. So my people is the focus. It's just horrible, because at the end of the day, the Rashard Brooks situation didn't have to happen. And a lot of people are trying to counter it by saying, well, he was fighting. What the fuck would you do? You just seen George Floyd get nailed on for 8+ minutes.
You drunk.
And you're drunk.
You drunk. You
Like,
ain't
at the
thinking
end of the
about
day,
none of that, bro.
I've seen people do a lot worse while they're drunk. But at the end of the day, I see 2 policemen. If I'm sober, my mind is I'm fighting off. Because at this point, I'm afraid. I'm going to die anyway is my mentality. Right now, my mentality is literally, if I get pulled over, or if 2 cops approach me, or if it's 1 cop. If they approach me and they seem not to be actually trying to understand and de-escalate the situation, I'm going to die. If they seem too anxious, I'm going to die. So why the hell would I sit there and give them a chance? Why would I let them pin me down? Because if you see the video, they were trying to pin him down and handcuff him. 2 men. Who knows what happens next? Maybe they do the same to him as they did to George Floyd. Maybe they shoot him when he squirms a little bit. But once they get them handcuffs on you, now there's not even a chance for you to fight back. Because you can barely move at that point, and now your life is literally in their hands to the fullest.
I'm damn sure gonna fight back if I didn't do nothing.
Yeah,
I can
exactly.
see if I was in Target, stealing, and I got caught. All right, what the fuck did I do? Why y'all touching me? Why y'all arresting me? I'm going, what is you doing?
To me,
and then they start punching me.
To me, he drunk. So honestly, I don't think shit clicked to him until they tried to arrest him.
Yeah.
I was just having a conversation with 2 strangers and shit. It was
Right,
kind of
yeah,
odd. Both of y'all had on all black, but yeah, man, I was just here to try and get my chick some food.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Clearly that's all it was. I think once they tried to handcuff him and detain him, that's when shit snapped, fight or flight. Fight or flight kicked in. And it's, what are you gonna do now? Dog, he chose to run. Technically, I don't think they should have tased him the way it happened. To be perfectly honest, after watching the footage, he did tase the cop. That's what the fuck he did.
But he missed. But he shot
He
him.
did miss. No, he hit the cop.
Oh, okay.
Because if you watch the video, the cop jumps. So he hit the cop hit the truck, but that's when the cop goes straight for his firearm, and that shit is wrong. And that's why hopefully them charges stick, and that shit is truly felony 1 murder, because you killed that man.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to shoot him in the back, and you did. You did.
Yeah, he's clearly fleeing.
You did. You did. You were not an imminent threat. He was not posing a direct threat to you, and him still running the fuck away. Even with the taser that he shot at him, we both know it's only 2 shots. There was 1 already discharged. He shot the second.
Yeah.
You have no fireable ammo. The cop knew that more than he knew that. You weren't an imminent threat. You killed that man, and I'm sorry, but they deserve to be thrown under the jail.
At the end of the day, this is the mindset of a drunken man who
drunk
did
man.
not expect
A
anything to
drunk
happen.
man, yeah,
And there's people like the chick I was talking about earlier, Lauren Ingram. It's the same chick that told LeBron to shut up and dribble. The same chick that made jokes about Nipsey the day after he was murdered because of his lyrics in the song that he was in. This chick is on TV at this moment, still working for Fox after all of the racist shit that she said. And she's literally on camera talking to the lawyer of the police officer who shot Brooks. And she's making light of the situation. She's really laughing on camera as she's trying to give the lawyer more ammo to make him look as if he's more guilty than he actually is. And that's not okay to me, because at the end of the day, she's clearly against us as people. It's clear as day.
Drew Brees is allowed to have his opinion.
Yeah, exactly. The same chick that said Drew Brees can have his opinion, as if LeBron and Drew Brees should not be on the same level, the same platform. Or if LeBron shouldn't even be hired because he is a great athlete. We're not getting into that, but that's the point.
She's a racist, and Fox News is a racist.
Yeah,
but they
because
allow.
Go do that
They
shit.
allow.
Go burn that shit.
You know what I'm saying?
Down.
That's what I'm saying.
Where that
Go
shit at?
after
What
something-
city that shit in?
Well, it's a station
I'm about to say
in
it's a Fox
every major
every-
city.
yeah.
Like
Our
it's a
Fox
channel in every
different
major
than
city.
them.
Like
Our Fox cool. They
Our Fox
Fox
is different.
yeah, dog. Like it's just crazy, yo. It's just
Yeah, it is
crazy.
crazy.
But
Kev, you got your license to carry, right?
I do.
You ever been pulled over and all
I
that shit,
had
right?
on a bunch of different
Do
occasions.
they ask you to like, can we take your firearm for fire safety?
They take the firearm from me. They check it to make sure it's a registered firearm.
Are you legally required to do that shit?
Yeah, because I ain't gonna hold you. I mean, the way that the way that it's laid out, you know, technically when you get pulled over, if you license to carry a firearm, you're supposed to tell them right
tell
then and
them?
there. You give them your license, you give them the Joan. They come back with the dumb questions: Are you carrying? Yes or no. 9 times out of 10 for me, it's yes. You know what I'm saying? They ask where that shit is at. You know, whether it's on my body or whether it's in my car, it's on me. But yeah, I done had the cops take the gun. They go check it. You know, they all didn't give it back. I got pulled over literally probably like, I ain't gonna hold you. Let's say right before COVID started, you know, like down the street from my crib. But I live 30th and Diamond, you know what I'm saying? There was a shootout at that little, you know, apartment development complex by the Hank Gather School or whatever. Yeah. So me coming back down 30th Street, they pulled the nigga the fuck over, whatever. You know, the cops checked the burner. You know what I'm saying? He checked the gun or whatever, and he said, like, you know, you're legal, you're licensed, here's your firearm, we understand why you carry. It is crazy out here.
You live in North.
You know, you live in North. I understand why you carry. So, you know, they loaded, what did he do? He didn't load my gun. He handed me back the gun, handed me back the mag, you know, let me load it, then handed me my extra round. You know what I'm saying? And took it from that. But
he said he understands
they understand why we
that's
carry.
That's what it goes down to, like I said earlier. They have to understand your situation.
I've had both. I've had both situations, dog. I've had the overly aggressive cop that pulled me over, had me on the fucking hood. You know, they running my license. They going through my car looking for unnecessary extra shit. I've had the cop that came up reasonable and the fucking driver of the car I was in provoked and antagonized the situation. Surprisingly to me, the cop remained cool. They did get firm, but the cop remained cool. I've had a little bit of it all. Like, I got family that wear the badge, dog. Like, I have literally bloodline family that wear the badge. And not all cops are bad, but you know, sometimes you get the cool one. Sometimes you had that situation during the riots.
Yeah,
when they stopped you coming into the job.
I really thought I was gonna get my ass up. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
The way you told me the story, I thought you was too. Like, I was looking for bruises. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
it was shortly after like the first couple of sets of riots. Actually, it was the first day of riots.
Yep.
So since I worked overnight, I was asleep when the riots first broke out. But my boss called me and told me the riots were going on and told me I could catch an Uber to work if I didn't feel comfortable driving. So I looked at the Uber prices and it's $160 and like a 30-minute wait time. So I'm like, no, I'm gonna just drive to work and park in the garage.
I would take it to work for $75.
Like I said, they had, because they were but because they had everything on curfew, that's why cops were stopping everywhere. So on my way to work, I didn't know that cops would be stopping every other street and stuff like that. So literally 1 block away from my job, there's cops in the middle of the street and they won't allow me to pass. So I have to park my car and I roll down my window because in my mind now I see 4 police officers and I'm down a dark street, very dark, small street, and no one's outside because of the curfew. Damn near midnight, and I'm black. I roll down my window and scream out the window, "Can I approach your car to talk?" They didn't say something. I did it again, and he was like, "Yeah." So the cop that I'm speaking to, the guy that was actually driving the car, came out very reasonable. He's a little bit older than me, probably like mid-20s, mid to late 20s, and me and him like actually talking about it. And he's a little on the fence about it, mainly because it's his job to make sure people don't get into the area that he's guarding. So he's explaining to me why he's hesitant to let me out. But his partner gets out, older guy, they're both white by the way. Older guy gets out, already has his baton in his hand, and he literally says to me, "Boy, don't you know it's curfew?" Like, he literally called me a boy and asked me, did I know it was curfew? And approached me with the baton in his hand, like just swinging it around. Like, he had one of those old school batons with the like hook still on it and everything. And yeah, that's how he approached me. And as the guy that's sitting there talking to me very calmly, is engaging in conversation with me, this guy's on the side, like trying to provoke the situation, starting to ask more questions, trying to make me direct my attention to him so that this can escalate. Because while I'm talking to this guy, it's calm as day. We even started to like get a little bit of rapport. I told him I worked in security. I was trying to help him understand, and he understood completely. But his partner was trying to make a situation out of nothing. So in that moment, I thought I really might have got hit by that guy for any moment or any reason at all. And then eventually we did talk it out, and because the young officer kept taking lead in the situation and let it be known that he was handling it, everything went okay. But my problem is, what if he wasn't there and I did get approached by the one guy that had the baton in his hand? I literally probably would have got my ass whipped or got shot, because I'm not about to just sit here and get my ass whipped. Like, look at me. I'm like 6'2" something. I'm not about to just sit here and get smacked by a cop that's about yay high with a baton in his hand as little man syndrome. Like, it's not happening. So when I do fight back, when I actually grab that baton so he can stop hitting me, I'm going to get shot. And
But
fellow
that's just it,
officers
like,
are just going to sit there.
Those kinds of situations, while we get it, yeah, you know, the circumstances, as all situations have different circumstances. Kyrese was out, excuse me, that ain't Corona, stop trying to put me. Kyrese was out, you know, it was almost midnight, but to be honest, he was going to work. We are in security, at least me and him is. So while most things have shut down, we still report to work. I'm about to squirt you with some hand sanitizer. Anyway, we still go. He put his mask on. We still go to work, you know, day in, day out, because that's what we have to do. We have to protect the building. We are the presence of different. We are essential of different places, but literally, depending on the circumstance of which cop got out that car first, he could or could not have been here in a situation that had nothing to do with his life being in jeopardy. That's the risk that we take daily. That's what we need people to understand. You know, don't just think about it like, you know, oh, well, he was irate, or this one was drunk, or he had a criminal record. What I did in my past ain't got shit to do with what happened here in the present. What happened here today was that I was just out, and this cop was mad about some other shit, like, and things went left. Like, you know, that's the realization of it all, and it's just a little crazy, a lot of it crazy to think about it.
At this point, if I see my friend, if I see any black person, if I see them, like what happened with George Floyd, or cops beating you the fuck up, I'm not gonna beat the cop up. That's dead. But I'm gonna try to fucking pull him up. I'm gonna run past him. I'm gonna run past him, push the cop, and keep running. That's your opportunity to get up and run.
At this point, I don't want to see
too.
another video like George Floyd.
Depends.
And that's really the mentality that I think a lot of people are starting to take, because I don't think people realize life is so temporary. Once you lose it, you cannot get it back. You're done. And I don't think people understand that's a permanent loss that your family has to carry. Your children, your wife, your mother, your father, your aunts, your uncles, all these people that knew you to be an outstanding person. And I'm not going to say everyone's outstanding. We know some people are criminals, but at the end of the day, most of these people aren't being killed in criminal situations. So it's not an excuse. I don't care if I was a drug dealer 10 years ago. I don't care if I got to be out of jail 3 years ago. I don't care if I'm on probation. If I did nothing for you to do this to me, you're still guilty. There's no
selling
justification.
drugs, that's not a violent crime. I'm not
That's
causing
not
no
warranted.
violence.
Exactly.
That's
That's even
not
the point.
warranted for me
But
to
the thing
lose my
is,
life.
they think, oh, he's a drug dealer, he has a
it's
gun,
not
he'll kill him.
warranted. Like,
Why?
it's
I
not
don't know.
warranted.
But that's how they escalated. In a matter of seconds, they think of all of that. Or I don't know what they think of actually, but in a matter of seconds, they concoct something in their mind that makes them say, okay, this black guy is going to hurt me, I need to kill him. Or if I don't like black people, I need to kill him. Because at the end of the day, there are cops that are just racist. They don't have a reason to think this way or think that way. They just want to do it because they want to do it, and that needs to stop. We need to start screening police more. We need to test more. We need to train better. And we need to get it to the point where we don't have this issue so often. We don't have this issue at all. But the smaller steps is, as often, decrease these situations. I don't want to keep seeing George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud, Rashad. I don't want to see that anymore. At the end of the day, it's outrageous. It's frightening at the end of the day. This, like, it makes my blood boil, but it also terrifies me. Not just for me, but for my family. I have a mother. I have sisters. I have people in this world that I care about dearly. And every day, I have to worry about if they get in a situation, not just me. Like, at this moment in time, every time I see anyone, I always say be safe. And that's something I've done growing up, because growing up in the hood, you always say be safe. But now more than ever, I really make it serious. Even sometimes when we're on a call, I say be safe before we get off the phone. Because at the end of the day, it could be the last time I speak to them.
Don't know.
And you really want people to be safe because there's so much danger out here. I'm more scared of police than a fight happening out in my neighborhood, a gunfight. I hear gunshots often in my neighborhood. I still get up, I go outside, and I drive to work. If I hear sirens, I literally might wait before getting in my car and driving to work, because at the end of the day, that's more dangerous at this moment to me. And at the end of the day, we have to look out for each other. And the way we started it is the way I feel like I want to end it. By saying Breonna Taylor,
Ahmaud Arbery,
George Floyd,
Rashad Brooks.
there you go.
I mean, we want to give everybody a true light and a chance, you know, say their names, be a part of this movement, you know, get active, be vigilant, you know what I'm saying?
My prayers go out to that family because it's deeply, deeply saddening. And I don't know how they feel. Like, I can't imagine, but I know it's a lot of pain. So I really pray that they get the justice that they're seeking, not just for them, but for all of us. Because at the end of the day, their family members are now a part of a bigger fight. They're now a part of a fight that we're all trying to now carry on.
And every episode not gonna be like real political, but
every episode's not
it
going
was
to
just so much
this
going on in
current,
the world.
that's just it.
But
This
at
current.
this moment, this is very pressing.
Yeah.
And for us all being black males, and all of us being supporters of the Black Lives Matter movement and the black people movement in general, because it's not just about Black Lives Matter, and it's about black people getting their fair shot.
Trust.
Everyone being able to build their own businesses, for us to actually have a fair shot in the race. Because at the end of the day, when you come out of the womb, you got to run 3 miles to get to that destination. A lot of other people might have to run a half a mile. But that's the life that we live, and that's the change that we're trying to bring
3
forth.
miles with asthma. I had to run that shit.
You might as well asthma. You got to do hurdles too. They just running.
I'm
So,
fat.
yeah,
Wasn't
right.
not mine, you know what I'm saying?
And that's just like
it's just
stress
the
that we have.
obstacles that we have.
Exactly.
I mean, it's the obstacles we have, but that's the life we live.
Ain't gonna
Every
stop
day we
us.
walk
Still
out.
gonna get it.
It's never gonna stop us. That's the key. That's what's inbred in our people. We
That's what
resilient.
that's what
We
makes them
fighters.
afraid of
That's
us.
truly what makes them afraid of us. You're not gonna stop us. You know,
moment we
even if
get
we
the fair
lose
shot,
today,
the moment we
we
win
coming
completely.
back, y'all. No, we coming back. No, we ain't
promise.
over yet. No, this is just the beginning. You know, and we got a big agenda and a whole lot of stuff to tackle, but the mission is there. You know what I'm saying? As Nipsey said, the marathon continues, yo.
That's a big fact. And this is the Scream at Me podcast. Our ears are to the streets. We're talking to the people. And this is the end of the podcast.
Yo,
See you
get
guys
with
next
us,
time.
dog.
Kyle.
Kev,
Day.
y'all stay safe, man. Be out there.
We out.
I'm from a block where these niggas get locked and go back. Where the money that you see ain't legal, it's all traps. All black mask, coat zip it up, he gon' blast. Anybody plotting on me, that's a death force. All niggas hop out the V, get your head right, red dot right on his T. He get